Marissa Cole had never imagined that life in the quiet outskirts of Flagstaff, Arizona, would be this exhausting. As a single mom juggling two jobs, most nights ended with her driving home past midnight in her old, rattling minivan. Her 8-year-old son, Liam, usually slept in the back seat after finishing homework at her workplace. That night was no different. Marissa was tired, the roads were nearly empty, and the desert air had begun to cool after a scorching day. As she approached one of the main intersections leading out of town, something unusual caught her eye. A small figure sat dangerously close to the crosswalk line, a little girl in a wheelchair. At first, Marissa thought someone must be nearby, maybe a parent or caretaker, but the girl was alone, struggling with the wheels, her face tense with fear. The traffic light above flickered from green to yellow. Then Marissa heard it, the unmistakable roar of an engine pushed to dangerous speed. A lifted pickup truck charged down the road, its headlights bouncing violently on the asphalt. It was clear the driver wasn't slowing down for anything. Marissa's heart dropped. Without a moment of hesitation, she slammed the brakes, threw her minivan into park, and leapt out. Her legs moved before her mind could catch up. She sprinted across the intersection, ignoring the sting of hot pavement under her shoes and the rush of desert wind. The little girl saw her coming but was frozen with fear as the truck barreled closer. "Hold on," Marissa shouted. The girl gasped as Marissa lunged forward, grabbing the wheelchair handles and pushing with all her strength. The two rolled back just in time. The truck blasted past them, horn blaring, its tires screeching loudly as it barely missed clipping Marissa's arm. For a moment, everything went silent. Breathing hard, Marissa looked down at the girl. She had bright hazel eyes, shaking but wide with gratitude. You saved me," she whispered, voice trembling. Before Marissa could ask where her guardian was, a deep rumble filled the night air. The sound grew louder, a chorus of heavy engines, unmistakable and intimidating. One by one, powerful Harley-Davidsons appeared at the end of the street, headlights slicing through the darkness. They rolled closer until they surrounded the intersection in a perfect circle. Liam had woken up and was staring out the minivan window in shock. Marissa stiffened. These weren't ordinary bikers. Their jackets, patches, and presence were unmistakable, Hell's Angels. The bikers parked in seconds, forming a protective wall around the girl. A towering man with a gray beard, tattoos lining his arms, and a heavyweight presence strode forward. His eyes locked onto the girl, then slowly lifted to Marissa. "Who got her out of the road?" he asked, voice low and sharp. Marissa swallowed. I did." The man looked at her for a long moment, then something heavy in his expression melted. "You saved my daughter," he said quietly. "For that, you have my respect." For a moment, Marissa wasn't sure how to respond. The tall biker's tone wasn't threatening, just deeply serious, almost emotional. The girl in the wheelchair reached for him, and he knelt immediately, brushing her hair gently aside. "Daddy, she saved me," the girl whispered. His eyes softened instantly. He pulled her into a careful embrace, mindful of her chair. Then he stood and faced Marissa again. "My name's Ryder Donovan," he said. "Chapter leader." Marissa blinked. She had heard the name before, everyone in northern Arizona had. But the way he looked at her now wasn't the way people usually looked at strangers. There was no suspicion, no distance. Only gratitude. One of the bikers added, "Boss, the truck didn't even stop." Ryder's expression hardened. "We'll handle that." Then he turned back to Marissa. "But right now, we handle you." "Me?" she asked, confused. "You saved my kid. That makes you family. And family doesn't walk away unprotected." Before she could argue, Ryder waved the others forward. "Get her van checked. Make sure the kids are safe." Marissa stood there in disbelief as three bikers, tattooed, leather-clad, and surprisingly gentle, walked over to her minivan. Liam rolled down the window cautiously, his eyes huge. "It's okay, bud," Marissa assured him. "They're just making sure we're safe." One of the bikers gave Liam a fist bump and said, "Cool little man you got here." Once the girl was secured, Ryder insisted on escorting Marissa home. The convoy formed naturally, Harleys rumbling on both sides of her old van like armored guardians. Locals peeked out from windows as they passed, shocked to see a single mom being escorted like a president. When they arrived at her run-down rental house on the edge of town, Ryder stepped forward again. "You live here?" he asked. Marissa nodded, embarrassed. It's all I can afford for now. Ryder looked around silently. The creaking porch, the broken railing, the sagging fence, the dim porch light that flickered like it might die any second. He didn't say a word until he nodded to two bikers behind him. Bring the tools tomorrow. Marissa's eyes widened. Wait. No, you don't have to. We do, Ryder interrupted. You protected what matters most to me. Now let me return the respect. The next morning, Marissa woke to the sound of engines, not terrifying this time, but comforting. A dozen Hell's Angels were on her lawn, already at work. Her porch was being rebuilt. Her fence replaced. Her minivan lifted on a jack with new parts being installed. One biker was even painting Liam's old bike, making it look brand new. Ryder approached her with a cup of coffee. You're not alone anymore, Marissa. Not after what you did. You need anything. Anything. You call us. Her throat tightened. For years she had fought life alone, scraping by, surviving one hardship after another. But now, standing there with her son and her unexpected protectors, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long, long time. Belonging. The bikers didn't just thank her. They adopted her. They made her family.